Welcome to the Empire State Trail Weekly Update, your briefing for folks who use and care about the Erie Canalway and Empire State Trail. This week we'll look at conditions, construction, and community news from across the Erie Canal and Hudson River corridors. This is the update for March 15th through the 21st, 2026. The warm temperatures and rain have melted the snowpack all across the state, and it looks like the trail is snow-free. And in spite of the storms we had, the rainfall has been light. Let's take a look at the map. We're showing 0 all across the corridor here, 0 all the way down to New York City, maybe a little bit up in the Champlain Valley, and of course still snow in the Adirondacks. Our last 7 days of rain precipitation have been a couple inches out by Buffalo. The driest spots have been in the Mohawk Valley, and then New York City a little bit, about 1 inch. So things don't look too bad. And this morning we had a heck of a windstorm move through, so be on the lookout for those widowmakers. They're hanging over the trail just like you see this one here. In terms of trail closures, not much has changed since last week. In fact, nothing's changed from last week. We still have the trail closure there in Buffalo at LaSalle Park. We have the trail closure in Gates. We have the caution about the bridge work over the trail there by Bushnell's Basin. The aqueduct closure there, the short detour around that. The closure at Lock E21. And a little bit of work down by the Port of Albany. In planning news, we have a webinar for all you who have looked at all that great open space under a power line and wondered what it would take to create a bike path along it. The Capital Region Transportation Council is hosting a utility trail webinar on March 20th. This is available by Zoom and runs about 1.5 hours. And will the Peanut Line Trail become the newest segment in the Empire State Trail system? At a recent town meeting, the Amherst Town Board passed a resolution in support of applying for a $7 million grant that would start the ball rolling and hopefully see the Peanut Line constructed as a nearly 5-mile-long paved multi-use path. If you want to see what a trail study looks like, head over to the Peanut Line Feasibility Study, which is available online at the Go Bike Buffalo website. Parks and Trails New York has announced that Utica and Lyons have been selected as the 2026 Trail Towns. Planning committees from these communities will work with PTNY staff on subjects such as trail and amenities assessment, encouraging bike-friendly businesses, and setting short and long-term goals that will help their cities become even more welcoming to trail users. You can learn more about these communities and get more information about all the trail towns on the PTNY website. If you are in the Hudson Valley on March 20th, you might be interested in Walkway Henge, the bi-yearly event when the sun aligns with the walkway over the Hudson. Gates open at 6:30, but be warned that the Walkway Henge is a very popular event, so get in line early and expect crowds. They say the bridge fills up pretty quick. Congratulations to the 302 trail users who earned their February 15 Challenge swag. They really had to work hard for their swag this year with the very cold and snowy conditions. You can start your 2026 Canalway Challenge on the Erie Canalway National Heritage Corridor website. 90, 180, and 360-mile kits are now up for grabs. Let's move on to a couple quick rider notes and upcoming events. The Canal Clean Sweep is now just a month away on the weekend of April 17th to 19th. The Canal Clean Sweep helps to get our trails and parks ready for the warmer season, and you can check out the map for a Clean Sweep event near you, or you can create one of your own. And once you're done with the Canal Clean Sweep, keep those cleaning supplies handy because the next weekend, on April 24th to 26th, is the National Historic Marker Weekend Cleanup. The William G. Pomeroy Foundation is looking for volunteers to get out and clean up those neighborhood historic markers. You can find registration information on the WGP Foundation website. And registration is still open for the Cycle the Erie Canal and Cycle the Hudson Valley group rides hosted by Parks and Trails New York. The Erie Canal ride will take place over the week of July 11th to 19th, and the Hudson Valley ride is set for August 3 through the 8th. And while I have been waiting for decent weather, I have been watching the Denise Looking Out on YouTube. She and her partner cycled the Erie Canalway Trail last June, but her story about the ride is just coming up now. It is difficult to tell a compelling story about your ride on YouTube, and she has done a good job. And it is well worth your time to watch, especially if you're thinking about doing a ride yourself. And in closing, you may have heard that it was bicyclists who led the way for improved roads in the late 1800s and early 1900s. This is how the League of American Wheelmen got their start. For a very brief period, cyclists had cinder side paths constructed all across the state. And you can read all about these early Greenway movements in this blog by Erica Snyder on the PTNY website. For instance, I did not know that in 1901 there was a system of improved bike paths all across the state. It's a great read, and I learned a lot. That's it for this Empire State Trail Weekly. And remember to be careful on your early season ride and look out for those piles of grit in the corners and intersections. Leave your questions and comments below. Please note that this is an independent weekly update and is not affiliated with New York State, the Canal Corporation, or any official trail agency. Information is based on publicly available sources and rider reports. See you next week.